This is a ultra compact 80 channel UHF CB radio that I have purchased from Autobarn in Mount Gambier. There's a price tag. They're quite expensive. They come with a little bit of everything in it. They've got the aerial, they've got the CB unit, as you can see there on the box. They've got all the coax and stuff ready to go. Basically plug in, wire up and off you go. The only thing it didn't come with is a bracket for the bonnet, which I'll show you. This is the bracket that had to be purchased separately for about 10 bucks. I'll tell you what, if you can make one at home, do it. It's not worth it. But simply, all that does, at the side of the car, that sits this way, like that, on the inside of the panel there. Like, lift the bonnet up, you bolt it in, just with taking one of the screws out, and it'll sit up there. You bolt the aerial to the that little circle there. So, now the unit itself is actually quite small, as you can probably see, the size of my hand. Not much bigger than the gear stick. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use, for this one, you can hardwire them in there, which they've laid it out for. They've got the two wires here you can splice in and hardwire it. But I'm not going to do that this time. It comes with a fuse, in case you're wondering. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the original cigarette lighter plug, and I'm going to run a new system down, which is a 3, which is here. Grab this one. I'm going to run that from the original cigarette lighter plug down here, and that, now the radio will be spliced into the second one that I've dug up from out of the shed, and I'll just run that from the inside of the console here, where the ashtray used to be, around into my little 3-piece adapter, and the adapter will run into the original cigarette socket. Simply done. So if I ever need to remove that radio, it can be done. Now what I'm doing is I remove the ashtray, and just in here is a little hole inside the Forester's ashtray where I'm actually sticking the fuse down. So if I just feed that in there, that'll get it out of the way, and then the set would fit nice and flush. So the wires wouldn't stop holding it back. Being an arse, get that in there. I just had it there. Stupid thing. Put that in there, like that. Nice and hidden away in there. And the set will fit in there nicely. Like so. And this existing wire here, I can just cut off, and I can feed that through to my cigarette plug. We don't need that anymore. Strip this. So when it comes to me and wiring things for the car, I'm very fond of twitching the wires, because with solder you can experience corrosion. Now because I want to take this down the beach a lot, and this thing will be living next to salt water most of the time. Oh well, really not most of the time, not as much as the other 4-wheel drive. Yeah, I don't really want it to corrode up. I don't know if anyone's really experienced, I'll do that one a bit more, much corrosion with soldering. But I know that the different elements, even though if it is covered up properly, the different elements in the metal can actually cause different reactions. So I'm assuming that one's positive. So I'll just twitch that one together like so. Make a little cross and twitch, just like that. Wind him up. And that one is set, ready to be taped. We'll go this one. Twitch him up too. If I can just get my fingers in there. There we go. Twitch him around like that. And back. There we go. They are ready to be taped up with insulating tape and cable tied off, ready to go. Although, I may have done it a bit too early because this is going to be too long. So, I'm going to have to cut that off. Bugger. Even up close to show you what I've redone. See how they're spliced together? Now we can get on with taping. Awesome. Another thing is to make sure you use the proper insulating tape. Otherwise you'll get a lot of interference and a few other things that'll probably go wrong with your set. And another thing would be to, when you're splicing wires, make sure you individually wrap the positive and the negative wire, because if you wrap them together, obviously you're going to get sparks, shorts, and you're just going to do a heck of a lot of damage. That's what the finished product looks like. So if I plug this into the power, that should turn on. All set, ready to go. Here we go with the bonnet up. Now what we're going to do is this bracket here bolts in to one of these bolts on the side panel. Now different cars have sometimes have a range of bolts going up to hold the panel on. You can choose either one you like. I was originally going to use this one, but as you can see, it's not going to fit, and I don't really feel like modifying a $10 bracket to do anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this bolt, which should be about a size 10 socket. Undo him. And that should come off nicely. And that bracket will bolt on there. And you can feed this coax straight through the car. I just found out Subaru make horrible bolts and they break. So don't do them up too tight if you own a Forester. So I'm going to replace it, bore it out and replace it with a nice stainless steel one. Oh no. Oh no. My day's just getting better. I'll get that out of there. Oh. Ah. Job done. And now we grab our bolt, slip them in there. Might need a washer for that. I might have to grab another washer, but essentially you put the bolt in there, you put that bracketry on, and you just do the lock nut and the washer up on the bottom, and it'll be like a new bolt. Testing to see if the bonnet fits. That's the bracket on. Go nicely hits there and hits there and closes. Like a little bend that fix. Great. I started around here for probably about half an hour trying to decide what I'm going to do. So I've come up with this idea. For now, that bracket that I bought from Autobarn is way too piss weak, so I'm not going to use that. And I've rerouted all the coax to here, down through a little plug where the air conditioning leaks all its excess water, and up and through the cabin. We just finished feeding the coax through and put everything else on. Like the screws in there, like I said I was going to. Now that one's nice and secure. The set, oh, that's in there very well. It's been held in by the coax. There's a little lip at the back which actually clamps onto the coax, and well, you can't get the set out. So there's no screws in that, it'll just pull out with a very hard tug, and everything's in there. That's nice and wide, pretty tightly in there. That's how I like to see it. And that sets on scan, ready to go. That thing's just very easy. I didn't show you how to modify that, because really all it is just a couple of screws in there, and that sits back like so when you set something away. Okay, and that is how you install a UHF. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Leave us a like and maybe a comment or a 4x4, and check us out on Facebook. Have a good day. Cheers.